Hello everyone, my name is Anita Crane and I am the Creative Director and Principal Planner at A. Marie Events and Design. And today I wanted to talk to you about choosing the perfect wedding venue that fits the tone and style of your wedding. When looking for your wedding venue, you want to make sure you get all of the information about the space so that your wedding is as perfect as you've always dreamed it would be. So picking your perfect venue is the most, and did I say the most important part of the wedding planning process, because your wedding venue will dictate the tone and style of everything, including your invitations, your decor, your wedding dress, and a whole lot of other things that go along with your wedding. So you want to choose the right venue that fits that tone and style that you're looking for. Of course, nothing would be more upsetting and stressful than not having your wedding venue come through on your wedding day. Am I right in assuming that's a yes? So here is a list of 10 things you really need to consider when selecting a wedding venue to help get things started off on the right foot when searching for a venue for your wedding day. Number 1, will or does the venue accommodate your guest count? Couples typically don't have a guest count in the beginning stages of the wedding planning because they're just now starting. So if you don't have an idea of the size of the wedding you are going to have, you will not be able to pick a venue confidently. No firm count is needed to look at venues, but one of the first questions the venue will ask a couple is how many guests will be attending. Having a rough idea of your wedding size, whether it is 50, 100, 200, or 300 guests, will allow you to cross venues off your list without having to go look at them in person, since almost every venue typically lists their facility sizes online. Number 2, if you have a specific look or style for your wedding, does the venue fit that look or style? I know that most of you have been dreaming of this day since you were a little girl. So a romantic vineyard, mansion, an industrial loft, an elegant bar, even a hotel, all of these spaces sound great when planning a wedding, but does it fit the style and look of your wedding? It is not an easy task to plan a style-specific wedding at all venues, and I'm sure some of you, if not all, have a specific style in mind. So you need a venue that will go along with that vision that is swirling around in those beautiful heads of yours. So while taking into account the style of the wedding you want will help you choose the venues you need to take a look at. Many couples think that they don't need to decide on a wedding style early on, but I think it's one of the most important decisions because the style and look of your wedding will determine the venue you pick. Number 3, what services does the venue offer, and is it a full service venue? Some venues offer minimal services, especially if you are using a banquet hall, a park, enclosed shelter, or any venues like that. Although they might offer some services like bar services and might even have a preferred vendor list that they will give you. A full service wedding venue usually offers everything you'll need for the big day. If you have a little extra time to spend planning your wedding, a full service venue may be the right way to go. On the other hand, if you have the time and the desire, some venues simply offer you the space and it's your job to create the wedding of your dreams. Both have their advantages, so before picking either one, do a little soul searching. Either way, some venues have preferred vendors that they want you to work with, so that is something to ask about before you book the space. Working with venue required vendors can be great because they know the space and have worked there before, but it does not give you the option of shopping around and finding a quote that meets your budget. Number 4, what will the weather be like? Good question. Most couples have a good idea what time of year they would like to get married, which will determine the type of venue you want to book for your wedding. But don't forget, many venues might showcase images from a beautiful season like summer on their websites, so make sure you ask to see pictures from the season you intend to get married. If the venue holds weddings in all seasons, make sure you ask questions such as, is there heat and air conditioning? Is there a backup space if all of the sudden it starts to rain? If there is good lighting so the guests will be able to see as the evening goes on. While getting married might be one of the most exciting times of your lives, you also need to take into account any special accommodations your guests might need, when selecting a venue. While any established wedding venue will have proper accessibility for people with disabilities, a venue that is not typically rented out as a business might not have full wheelchair access or adequate restroom facilities. Number 5, what are the hours of operation? You definitely need to know that. This is a very important consideration. If you envision dancing under the moonlight followed by late night snacks and more dancing, be sure the venue allows that. Some venues have noise restrictions that limit how late you can party. Others have set hours with no option for overtime, while others charge a fee past a certain number of hours. Be sure you get their hours of operation policies in writing. Number 6, what is the deposit requirements? Here are a few important questions to ask about deposit and payments of a venue. First, what is the rental fee? What is included in the price, and what is the refund policy? Most venues will give you a discount if you book during the week or off season, so that is something to consider if you're looking to save money. Secondly, what is the deposit requirement and when is it due? And is any part of it refundable? And lastly, do they offer a payment plan? Make sure you get everything in writing to avoid any misunderstandings. Remember, venues will not hold the date for you until the contract is signed and the deposit is made. Number 7, am I required to use a venue's preferred vendors list? Some venues do, some venues don't. Most venues have a list of preferred vendors that they want you to work with. Working with these vendors can be beneficial because they know the space and have worked there before. But if the list does not offer many options, you may be able to find someone who can work with your budget. If your venue does not have a list of preferred vendors, they are still a good resource for referrals since they have, in most cases, worked with many of the local vendors and should know who would be a good fit and who would not be. Number 8, choosing the closest overnight accommodations. If you have out-of-town guests who are traveling far enough that they need to stay overnight, it's a great idea to find out if there are enough hotels in the area to accommodate everyone. It can be a major problem if once you book the venue, you find out that there are no adequate hotel options close by. Call local hotels and block a certain number of rooms for your out-of-town guests. Most will do this with a credit card on file and will offer special room rates for your wedding. Let your guests know all of the information to book their rooms and receive the special rates. Number 9, does a venue provide parking and is it free? Some venues have their own lots where your guests can park and no charge, but you need to find out how many cars it can accommodate. Other venues' parking can be a huge headache and an added expense for you and your guests. With these venues, the venue owner should have dealt with all these situations before, so they should be able to give you a good estimate of not only of the cost, but also the logistics. If it ends up being valet park, then think about tipping the valet parkers in advance so your guests won't have to. Another alternative is to hire transportation to pick up and drop off your guests. Most transportation companies have packages as well as hourly rates if this is something that's within your budget. Number 10, do they have correct lighting and sound? Great lighting is a crucial element in achieving the look and feel you have been dreaming of for your wedding, as well as a good sound system. These elements are essential not only for the DJ or band, but also for the wedding party introductions and the toast. You want to look beautiful and be heard, right? So check the fixed lighting and find out if you can add more lighting, like candles, chandeliers, and up lighting, and how many electrical outlets there are and where they are located. You'll want to be sure the band or DJ have access to the outlets, and the caterer may need some too. These are 10 important considerations when deciding on a venue, but there are many more to think about as well. I hope this information helps you in picking the perfect venue for you. So if you want to receive a copy of the questions to ask your ceremony and reception venue, comment below and I will be more than happy to send it to you. Happy planning, and until next time, have an amazing day.